So I'm going to do something a wee bit different today. I'm going to oil my worktops. So these wood worktops are iroko. It's the kind of wood, which is very nice. And I thought I'm going to use Danish oil, and I thought it was smart buying this 2.5 litre tub. This is about 5 years old now. It's actually no good. It's the solvent in it's evaporated, and I'm going to just bin this now, because if I was to use this, it takes about a week for it to dry, and it's sticky for all that time, so it's no use. So I bought a new one, and I bought a small one, so that way I've always got kind of fresher stuff. This will only last, I don't know, probably three coatings, and then I'll have to buy a new one, so it'll always be fresh. So you think you're saving money in that, but this is really heavy, it's half full. I'm going to put it in the bin, so it's a bit annoying. So I'm kind of going to not do this all in real time. I'm going to try and split it up to make a short video. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clear the worktop. So that's the worktop all clear. One thing that I never did when I installed this kitchen, which I did myself, was I did not attach these upstands to the wall or silicone them in place. So what that means is that I can pop these out. Now every so often, maybe every couple of years, I do oil these as well. I haven't done it for a while. It's like a flipping storm outside, so ideally what you would do is you take these outside and oil them outside just to stop the fumes, but because it's some hurricane blowing through here or something at the moment, I'm not going to bother. But what it means is that I can give them a right good scrub and a good clean. So I'm going to take these all, take all these off and give them a good clean as well. Excuse me. So the upstands are all taken off and they're all scrubbed and cleaned. What we can do at this point, it's a bit hard to see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see it on this. Just there, I've taken a photo as well. I'll try and splice that in. There's a wee dent. Something's landed on it. What we can do is to pull these dents out. There's a couple of other wee dents knocking about as well. What you can do is just get a wet dishcloth, put it on it, and I've got my iron set up. And what we'll do is we'll just push some steam into it. It'll not come out perfect, but it kind of lifts the dent out a wee bit. Don't hold it on for too long, otherwise you'll scorch the wood, and just move the cloth around so because the bit that we're on now is now quite dry, so you can move it, and it pulls the dent out very slightly. It's not great, it's not going to come back to perfect, but it just helps a wee bit. Just helps to pull the dents out a wee bit. I'm kind of wondering if I've actually already done it on this dent. It doesn't seem to be working very well, but kind of just. And you can burn the wood, you can scorch it and damage the wood a wee bit, so you just have to be careful. Yeah, it's not making much difference actually, but it's a good wee technique to pull dents out. See that it's actually not made much difference at all there, but some dents hasn't really worked. Try it on this one, but some of them it works well, some of them it doesn't work too well. But that's the next stage. I'm just going to go around and pull out any dents with the steam iron and the wet cloth. Yeah, a wee bit annoying actually. Limited success with pulling the dents out today. I tried a couple. It's worth a try. Just see if it might. It doesn't always do it. Let's get quite a sharp kind of. I think something quite sharp hit it. Maybe if it's more of a rounded dent, it might come out easier. But anyway, give it a try. but it might not always work. So I pulled the cooker out, I've put some masking tape, and I cleaned all around there, cleaned everything, and I put some masking tape around some key areas, around there, and there. I'm looking the right way. And again, another benefit of installing the kitchen myself is I'm able to, I didn't bother siliconing the tap in, so I can unscrew this thing at the bottom and just lift it up out the way, so I don't get oil onto the edge of the tap. So the main bit of work that we're going to do is, what we want to do now is sand the worktop. And if you can kind of see, here's quite a good example. I don't know if the camera picks up, but it's all kind of covered in kind of marks and scratches and things, you know, as things have been sliding around on it. So we'll remove all of that. There's something square, rectangular, been sitting there, and there's the wee dents from the mixers that have been sitting there, the wee circles, coffee cups, and there's lots of scratches around here, lots of coffee cups and things been put onto there. You can see there's all kinds of things. So what we'll do is I'm going to use steel wool, and then all I do is I'm just going to rub this all over, and I'm just going to take this top layer of oil off, and what you see is all the wee scratches and things will come off, they'll disappear. You take, again, it's not 100%, you know, this is it's a wood worktop. It's going to, over time, it's going to develop scratches and knocks and things that you can't get out, that you can't sand out with this method. And that's okay, you know, it's character and stuff like that. It's that's just the nature of this kind of surface. But what you can see is it's going from shiny to matte, and all the scratches and things are kind of disappearing, and you get your collection of dust there. So I'm just going to go over the whole surface like this, get a nice even coating, a nice even matte sheen across the whole work surface, and that's the next stage. Of course, as well, you're rubbing this with the grain. So this is this way, and then when I come onto this bit, I'm going to change and go this way with the grain. That's right. So yeah, don't rub against the grain, go with the grain. Okay, so that's done. All sanded down. So I'm just going to get the hoover out, and it's going to get very noisy. Just not very hygienically, but you know, just hoover up all the dust. So then I've just hoovered the majority of the dust off. So I've just get warm water, soap, and green scourer, and I'm just going to give it a good scrub to get the last of the dust off. And then after that, I'm going to have a cup of tea and a break, because we want it to be nice and dry before we put the oil onto it. So just leave this to fully dry after giving it a good scrub and getting all the dust off. I've got my doors open today. The noise you can hear is the wind. It's like a flipping tornado outside. It's gale force winds happening today. So I cleaned the worktop just with the scourer, just with the scouring pad and soapy water, and it's been about half an hour, 40 minutes or so since I cleaned it and dried it. So this is why I quite enjoy doing it, because at this point it's satisfying, because it's deep cleaned. It's completely clean of oil, you know, grease, dust, everything. It's spotlessly deep cleaned at the moment. So we're ready to do the oil. So the way that I do the oil, somebody told me this, gave me this wee technique. This is the way that she does it. So what I'm going to do is, it's very sticky stuff, so I've got the rubber glove on. So all I'm going to do is Superior Danish olive oil, Superior Danish oil. Give it a wee shake. So all I'm going to do is be quite generous with it. This looks quite thin compared to my last stuff. So I've just got this wee sponge with the green scourer on. I'm not going to use that scourer. And then I'm going to throw this away at the end. I should really cut that off and use that. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I won't bother this time. So you just put plenty on and then use this wee sponge to just get it all on to begin with. And then by using the sponge like this, what you can do is you can give it a, I haven't built up enough yet, you can wring it out as it soaks into the sponge. That looks pretty good actually. And you can go over the edges as well, but you just have to remember that you've done that because you're not lean up against it. But once you've kind of rubbed it all in like that, and then what I like to do is just to kind of go with the grain and take the just kind of even it all off. Neaten it up. And it's quite smelly, there's quite a solventy type smell in this. Oops. And that's it. And if you get it onto anything, so I put the masking tape there, if you get it on anything, wipe it straight away. The sink and all that, because it can be quite it can be very, very sticky once it dries. Right underneath. And you want to use plenty around the draining board. This is the kind of the main area, so be quite generous with it around here. You know, fire plenty on, a good thick coat around the, because this is obviously the wettest part of the worktop. So just kind of dump it on, roughly kind of spread it, rub it in, and then once that's done, just kind of neatly rub it with the grain. Probably just looking at a cupboard there, aren't you? Sorry. To tell where the camera's pointing in the right direction here. Obviously don't want to miss any bits, so and when you kind of do that at this area here, you don't want to let it pool in there, you don't want to pull off it, so just, you know, take the time to even it out through the draining grooves. So I'm doing this during the day, on a day that I can get the windows and doors open and stuff. I have done this at night, and I've not opened the doors, and it's been choked me all night. So it's definitely a daytime kind of job. So that's basically it. Just going to pour it all on, and then rub it in and continue. So that's all I'm going to do. And as it builds up, you can kind of wring this out. Don't get that on my phone. You can wring it out, and then you can use that as well. And when I go round the sink here, I'll probably touch the sink, but I'm going to wipe it with a wet cloth. If I touch the sink, just wipe it with a cloth straight away, otherwise it's really, really sticky. But that's basically the oiling process. Then once I'm done, I'm going to just throw this away, so it's kind of single use. So I should really cut the sponge off and keep that wee green pad, because it's no point if it's unused and it's going in the bin, it's a waste. But I'll just throw that away, and I'll take the glove off and throw that away. It's too difficult to, you need to get white spirit and stuff to wash your hands with. It's too much faffing, so it's very sticky stuff. I'm going to continue that all the way around. You don't have to be perfect. A few wee streaks in that are fine, it doesn't really matter, because when you come to do this again in a couple of months, 6 months or whenever you do it next, you're going to sand all those wee imperfections off anyway. So any streaks you leave are not permanent, so don't worry about it. So that's done. So basically what I'm back to now is almost like a brand new work surface, which is nice. I don't really like single use things like that, but so I don't do it very often, but in this case it's kind of necessary. So all I'm going to do now is just leave that for a bit, let it dry. Probably take, with this brand new oil, 24 hours-ish. Tomorrow dinner time, 24 hours-ish, it should be, you know, perfectly usable. I can probably start putting some things back on it tonight. I probably won't, I'll just leave it overnight and put things back onto it tomorrow. But yeah, that's you. It's a nice shiny finish to it all the way around, and mark there. But yeah, see, there's a few wee swirls and things there. I haven't bothered. It doesn't really matter. They'll all get sorted out in the next time. But that's done. That's my oiling my Iroko wood worktops with the Danish oil. Done.